It is about 4 a.m. I am grateful. I did sleep last night. I think I went to bed at like between 10 or 11 and I was asleep. I was supposed to put something on the TV, but I never did watch it. It was the fourth kind and I was watching it downstairs and then I came upstairs to finish it and I didn't finish it and I fell asleep. But I just wanted to address something really quick. So, um y'all should check out that movie, The Fourth Kind. I find it kind of interesting how a lot of those events that they say is a mockumentary, it it a lot of these things started, they say, in the year 2000, and we know the last year 999, that year of completion, the last time that was Y2K. And now here we are, a lot of people are not recognizing we're in that year of completion again. And there's a lot happening above us and here with us. Okay. And I wanted to address pretty much how what just came to my mind was I watched a quick, I don't know, they woke me up in a state. And so I just ended up going from where they woke me up to telling me to give my, they wake you up in a state, try to wake you up in a state of fear or trauma to harvest your energy for the grid. So let's just start there. So that's how they keep waking people up. They just wake you up, and of us that are on and connected to that grid that they use for their system, they use our sun power for their grid, right? And they keep us in the moon. So we have dark power and we have light power as melanated beings. So what they have done is they take your sun power, okay, for the grid. So they keep you connected to that grid. And they have, I believe they have 144,000 of us that have that power in us naturally. And they have activated in us naturally at this time right now. Today is, oh my goodness, I don't know. I think it's September 6th, if I'm not mistaken, y'all. So I think today is September 6th. And they've been harnessing that energy for the power for the grid. Now, I was just, I've been on this whole journey of healing and to ground and get more connected to God. And it's amazing that I was able to do that. And I know that I'm more connected to the heavenly realms. I have my sun, I have my moon, both bow for me. And I'm grateful I bow back. So I wanted to acknowledge how they wake you up. They woke me up like that, right? And so when they woke me up like that, I had to align myself quickly by laying on my back, centering myself and thinking before I respond, and then making sure that, because when I think I run, when I rise, I'm in my power. I'm in my sun and my moon. And so I think that they do that to try to get your sun power. And so I call my power back again, and then it's I started thinking about it, and something just told me to go to my phone. I was just like, just kind of empty my mind. I told them what I had to say to them and address to them, that all of them, what they were talking about was an illusion. Everything that they wake you up is an illusion. It's an illusion of fear that they try to project on you just to harvest your energy, y'all. So to people that are in this system, like the way I am right now, y'all try your best to not let them make you lose your sanity, because these people, they are not immortal. They are not going to be here for long, and a lot of their system that they have orchestrated and created is fallen. It's over. Their entire Babylon man-made system of enslavement is over, where they keep you in the moon power, your dark state, even in the daytime. They swapped our day and night. It's what they did. That's what they did, because they have a lot of people on that system, of that beast system, in the daytime. And that's why I kept wondering, like, why is it that I kept trying to stay up at night? I'm like, why was I staying up at night? I was staying up at night and and sleeping and being tired during the daytime. I'm like, what is going on with my body? It's like something has swapped. So then I come to realize it now today, the way they woke me up. I'm like, wait, this is it. Okay, I get it. What's happening? And so I thought about it. I went to my phone and there's a channel called Book of Wisdom. And if they have a lot of good information that is natural, divine information that is going to make sense to a woman. If you're a woman and you go on that channel, you're going to naturally know, like, wait a minute, we have cycles. So then you're going to know where the God power comes and originates from and why we are who we are. Okay. So I'll say this. On that channel, I watched that Book of Wisdom and watched what they were talking about the plant, about the sun and the moon, and how they harvest the energy as well. And then they went on. I went on to watch another. These are snippets. It was like a 3 minute or 4 minute clip. And then I went on to watch something else, and it scrolled down and went to another clip, short, and it was talking about the sun and the moon also. And I started thinking about it, and I said, well, wow, they and I think about King James and the Roman Catholic system and how they orchestrated everything. They keep you in that dark state and harness your power. You see, it talked about how before Roseanne, and then there was a clip, Roseanne Barr clip, and she was talking about how the oldest religion is Satanism. They said the oldest religion is Satanism. And they said that the Roman Catholics converted it. I'm thinking in myself. They didn't say that. Let me correct it. My mind started thinking that they converted Satanism into Christianity. They transmuted those demons that they received when they, in part of their enslaved system. They transmuted it, right? And so that's why I say everything is working out for us. Everything is working out for us in truth, in order, in balance, and justice. If you do not do that in truth, in order, in balance, just us, right? Just know, guess what? The Creator got a whole nother side. Go on over here to the dark side. You can be good if you want to, but you can also be bad. Melanated people, I'm just speaking to us, and that's the truth. We sunchilds. We come in darkness, we come in light. Either way, it's going to be all right. So then I started thinking about how King James initially, he created demonology. He initially wrote a book on demonology. After he wrote that book on demonology, he took his behind real quick back over to Christianity and created Christianity and wrote the Bible. He wrote the 1619 Bible. Y'all are something else. You know, okay, Tuku. So we go all the way back here. Y'all are something else. You know, y'all. That's how you ought to do. You know, that's how my mama is. My mama is something else. Then she gonna have the nerve to say, my mama told me, she was like, I told Satan can have my children though. I said, but what is wrong with this woman? Why would she tell me this kind of stuff? She is so humorous in her own way. And I just been feeling her energy the past couple of days, and she ain't even been with me. And so when you call a woman a witch, you ain't hurting her. You ain't hurting her at all. And I told them that. I said, ladies, you don't have to be offended or triggered by this. You get what I'm saying? And my mama, in my early state in my life, I told people, I was like, when it was Halloween, she used to either dress me up as a cat or a witch. I had the same outfit every year for like 15 years. And I'm exaggerating, right? It wasn't 15 years, but I had the same outfit for like, it had to be it was a long time because we carried this outfit to the several different houses. So I would say I had it for at least about let's say maybe about 8 years. I had the same outfit that I wore for Halloween. It was not 8 years, Teresa. Come on now. And I would either be a cat or I would be a witch, right? And so I just I just see that when you come into this knowledge, it can be humorous. It can everything can work out for you. It's all in how you receive it, you know. But sometimes we receive things in a state of emotions come with it and feelings come with it. Yeah, I try not to stay in that state. 11:11 at the timer on my phone. I was just telling you all, as melanated people, the sun and the moon, like T.Y. said, T.Y. Savage say the sun and the moon bow for you. It's so true. African people, melanated people, you know, and everything is working the way it's supposed to work. And I am so grateful. If we bad, we ain't care. I'm about to be bad. I've been good for like 3 years. So no, it's been about 5. I've been so good. And no, it's been a little less. I've had my moments. But let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all what they've been doing too. So they've been watching us through our spiritual eyes and judging us, right? So why some people 12:12 timer on my phone? Why some people been watching them and judging them because of what they've been doing? So the European people been catching their own judgment, and we and melanated people been doing to them what they've been doing to us. And it's so humorous to me right now because everything is going to work out. I guarantee you, they only got one option to calm down from off of our divine, heavenly, highest selves and our energy and our attachment to in the attachment to our souls and to our minds and to our bodies spiritually. You either calm down or you will get snatched down or you will fall down and you will go underground. They know what I'm talking about. Watch that book of wisdom. It got a short clip talking about the moon cycles and the sun and the moon. I just woke up and that's what popped up on my phone. So, I mean, it was on my YouTube, on my home tab on my YouTube. So when I clicked on it, it was a short, and I just was like, interesting, want to know. So I clicked on it and watched the short, and everything that they talked about resonated. So all the power, to me, it made sense and resonates that with the woman, and that's how the patriarchy created their system with the Anunnaki. With the patriarchy created their system. It was the patriarchy. It was the Anunnaki. And you got the European colonizers, and then they went to the West African chiefs, and that's how they got everything, you know. And they created this whole patriarchy system, which I think is the Freemasons, because they freed themselves. They were free because they could do what they wanted, and they knew they could do what they wanted. All here, do anything, and they had all the technology, all the science, everything to do what they wanted. And then certain people started taking advantage of certain people and enslaving certain people based off of that system and off of that knowledge. When you know better, you do better. You take your power back, and that's it. You don't go back into no enslaved system, because what they do is they try to rock you back to sleep. So what they wanted to do to me this tonight when I woke up, they woke me up in that state of fear and trauma. They wanted to harvest that energy. But then somebody else wanted me to know, don't you go back into that system of enslavement and go back to church today. We need you. Please. Talk to me. And they know they got to give the power back to the melanated woman. And that's what the patriarchy know. They know what they did to, I believe they did to the Messiah's bride. I kept thinking for some reason it was, see, I'm going to tell you, I think it's both. I think they did it to the Holy Trinity. What they did is they smoked up her higher self and created a consciousness. They created a cosmic. And so there was a cosmic mother. And so cosmic mother come down for her power. She come down for her soul because they split her all up. That I think that has something to do with whole Tiamat. And they got names for all of this stuff, but they got names for them. But some way, I just like to say divine mother. I think that's the root of their ranking as mothers and what they did to them and how they suppressed and oppressed the woman. See, the patriarchy. See, the patriarchy is what has been in power. And they're no longer in power. Y'all got to come on and give the power back to the matriarchy because that's originally how it was. That's where it was. You all created a whole system of enslavement, of chaos. And right now, I'm telling you, there's a little bit of chaos, but that's about to happen again, but it's good chaos to clear out that old system. And the power has to go back into the woman. And I keep saying that come out of her. And see, what I was basically referring to is that the Roman Catholic Church, you see, they worship that, what they call is the Black Madonna. I say the divine great mother. And I say she would be the Messiah's mother or the Messiah's bride or both. And they keep finding women that are like that are sacred, divine feminines, and they sacrifice them. When they sacrifice you, your soul goes into that reincarnation system, and the soul comes back to this plane. They use that soul to harvest that energy. The Anunnaki, the Roman Catholic Church, all those bloodlines, all these world leaders, all these people that have higher knowledge, they've been knowing this. They passed that higher knowledge down to us when at the end of the 400 years of slavery, 2019. So that's what's been happening since 2019. But prior to 2019, of course, they've been preparing. They knew this time was going to come. So they knew what they was going to have to do. So they decided, they're not going to want to work anymore. They're going to be on their own, independent. They're going to start creating their own individual Black Wall Streets. And I don't like to say black because I'm not being lack. I am greater than, and I accept myself as that. And so that whole system that they've orchestrated, they know that Elon Musk, don't play with me. Do not wipe my memory. I am not playing with you after what you have done. I am not playing with you. You better take yourself and go sit your behind down somewhere. You done did too much, man. You done did too much. So this Muskie guy, he comes inside here, and I'm telling you, he the main cause for this, and him and Steve Jobs and all of them that knew about intelligence that were divine. They went and tapped into our minds, creating algorithms and creating artificial intelligence, and then creating the Apple. They got the Apple iPhone based off of a woman too. Some sacred divine feminine power in there too. But y'all don't realize that these souls, these spirits is coming for y'all. And they're not buried. They are here. They are coming for you all. You better let that system down from the woman. Come out of her. Come out of her spiritually and artificially. That system y'all have created. And you better not do nothing to try to kill us off of this earth either. That mess that y'all did, I shut that mess down. That's what I do. When I come in, you come and put me into this mess. You put me into this mess. I will tell you my name. My name is Teresa. I am that I am. I was created prior to for me to do what I do. And I am telling you, your entire system has to come down. That artificial intelligence, you have the audacity to go and create robots off of our divine intelligence. I said I want back all my power. I'm not playing with you. You thought you was finna split me in two? My soul? I'm over here left one area thinking that I'm going through chaos in my relationship with my ex and with my mother. So I start healing and going within. They messed up because they wanted me to heal so I can activate my son so they could use my son power to continue the earth on, because they knew what was going to happen in 2023. So basically, they keep trying to keep the earth progressing off of a divine feminine energy. And I'm just telling you, I got to be whole and complete on my own. I'm not fixing to sit here and be fighting demons in my mind or fighting demons in my home, because you all connected us to the grid, and then somehow connected us to CERN, and then you somehow went underground with the collider trying to combine underground. You trying to combine you thinking that there's a demon or devil, something underground. You're trying to combine that underground with what's happening in the heavenly realm, and you're trying to make the two combat each other. Because initially you went to destroy the God particle, CERN. And that's why I say, y'all that got money, y'all, these European people that got money, they don't have the other half of them. They only have a dark mind. They only have a dark soul. And then their skin is light. They thought that that was their power. They thought they was the divines based off of their skin being light. They didn't realize that that was all our power. They forgot that the Muslim Yaqub, Jacob, you could say in some cultures and traditions, you could say Jacob or Yaqub. He created that European race. When he created in darkness, and he made you all white because of his light. He gave you all his light, and he made you white. They tried to do that same thing again. And I've been paying attention. I've been seeing some of the women, they got white dots. Like even me, got white dots on my ankle. I was started to get, I'm going to see if I can show it to you. Okay. If you can see it. It says more light required on my phone, and I don't know why. There it is. Some of us have these white dots on our ankles because that's where they attach to. They go down more on you as women. And they go down, you'll see the white dots on women's, start to see them whiter. And for me, all my life, like from my neck on down, has always been light colored. It's always been lighter than my neck, the base of my neck, and above me has always been darker. You get what I'm saying? So they tried to what he did in the physical and the spiritual, right? When he created that European race, what he did in the physical and the spiritual is what they tried to do as well with eugenics. They tried to do it to us too, and it didn't work. It did work as part of their system, and for some reason we felt like we had to be under some melanated people bucked the system, and they was not part of that 400. They were not part of Christianity. Some of them just decided, I don't care, I know the truth and I'm not being a part of that. I know who I am, so I'm not going inside Christianity. And they would just get married and stick with their husbands, and that's what they did, and that's how they kept their power. And so right now they think that they've been telling me to give your power up. They come in. She come in at night, or she come in throughout the day too, telling me to give up your power, give up your gifts. And she forgetting who created her. How dare you come and violate my boundary and don't know who I am and whose I am? You better respect me. You get no power from me. Give up the power. That's what she's been coming in, the little lady, the little European lady. That's what she's been coming in, 444. That's them. That's the timer on my phone. It actually said 2444. 24 minutes, 44 seconds. And so basically, this is what they've been doing. And they're causing the destructions upon the earth right now. And it doesn't have to be that way. All you got to do is give the melanated woman back all of her power and all of her energy and come out of her spiritually, mentally, and some people it's physical too. Some people it's physical. See, that's the cause for, you will see a lot of biracial relationships, because one know the truth and the other do not. And that's why they say, oh, in the times, I was supposed to come with a I was supposed to be with a European person because I've been with a black person. So that's what they said. And when it happened to me in 2023, when they were they wiped my memory, took my power, and told me to give my kids to my mom. And basically, they were trying to make me be with a European person and run off and give my kids to that side of the African family. Because apparently there was a deal orchestrated with Satan. And Satan had taken Satan was white, right? But Satan was white, but Satan didn't know Satan only had dark power. Satan thought that Satan would have light power, but Satan didn't have light power. Satan only had dark power. And the light power that they thought they had, it was their light that was on their skin. That was the African people did when they went to that. Y'all got to read the Willie Lynch. The information that I have, it's somebody that's been sitting back watching me and guiding me, or from the heavenly realms. From the heavenly realms. And you'll be surprised what the heavenly realms are. The heavenly realms could exist within you, yes, because that's the Holy Land too. Everything that you have that we think that is outside of us is within us. That's like Israel. I told somebody, I watched a video on YouTube, and I'm so grateful for people that are 717. Wow. I'm so grateful for people that are divine and naturally, and they just speak their truth. They like, I don't care. I'm not scared of y'all. When y'all come in here thinking I'm scared of you when you doing this telepathically stuff and you doing things in the spiritual realm, I rise up at a certain time and I cast that mess out. Whatever you put over the spiritual realm to think that you could orchestrate or have authority over my life for the day, that day, I cancel it and I set the intention for myself and what I'm going to do. Some of us been doing that, right? Intentionally. These people wanted to colonize us so that we would do what they tell us to do. They bold, but they weak, bold, because they really don't have no power and authority. It's just you got to bounce. You got to rise up even more over them. And I keep doing that. I keep doing that daily. Sometimes I calm down throughout the day, and I do that calming down when I end up smoking. And that's when I felt like that was what was happening. Smoking, I think it kind of calmed me down. That's what I think was happening, but that is actually, in actuality, not really true either. It's not really true either, but we don't have to smoke. We don't have to smoke. It's just that it's a habit that we have, some of us have healed, and then they try to bring it back to you to bring you backwards into that karmic cycle. That's all. And that karmic cycle, all that mess is man-made. They created that. I ain't a part of your cycle. I don't care nothing about that karma stuff that y'all got going on. You can't put me in nothing because you don't have no power and authority over me spiritually or mentally. Whether you in the cosmos or whether you underground or on this land or flying in the air, whatever you do, you don't have no authority over me. You only got it over you. That's what they got to know. So I'm just basically wanted to kind of just sum up all of this, to just touch on it for it to be addressed, that you try to stay grounded. Try your best to stay grounded. And I'm telling myself this too. So as I'm saying that, this is something that I have to do too. So when I speak to somebody and when I tell somebody or something else, if I'm guiding somebody on anything, I'm telling y'all got to be grounded. When grounding means you sit still sometimes. You just sit still and listen and let it flow and realign and reconnect. And Sundays is what we're supposed to do those days. That's when we reconnect with our son. And what they did is when you go to the church, You take your son into the church, and then they have me personally, because he came out with demonology first. That means that they probably have some kind of incantations or something over the churches to harvest your light, and that's what keeps the grid going throughout the week. They have different portals. They're all different types of incantations, and I'm not getting the right terminology right now, but somebody's going to pick up on this video, and they're going to know, and they're going to be able to, they'll be able to rationalize exactly what I'm talking about and what word I'm looking for. And I'm looking for a certain particular word, and I'm trying to think of it. But when they go to doing certain things, and somebody is sending me or consuming me, or I'm channeling using my gifts, because we all connected in certain ways, in different ways, and somebody's trying to give me something, or they're trying to take something from me. And I told you my gifts are not to be shared. Oh. We need your gifts at the church today, Teresa. We need to be able to tell some of these people, you ain't giving them our knowledge and information that we worked and earned and researched. You're not giving it to the church. That's what we're trying to tell y'all. We about to shut that down. That's where we at. We keep telling y'all this. $144. We're not sharing it. We're not giving them people nothing, because that's what they want. So everything that I've been talking about on my channel, do you know they take what they want, bits and pieces out of that, and then they giving it to the pastor. They're swapping, they consume you, trying to get information, taking souls and swapping souls and attaching to your energy, so they can have that information in the church. Now, if you go into the church as a minister or as a pastor, they protect you as long as you do what they tell you to. You are required to speak on that pulpit and only say certain things. I researched that in 501c3 and knew that a long time ago. Certain people came into certain knowledge or certain people get awakened. So I'm going to tell y'all, let's say they got the Illuminati, right? Let's say the Illuminati been working underground for a long time for this, and they've been preparing for all of this, right? And they knew all of this was going to come back into natural order. There would be no religion no more, because people are going to know who they are and whose they are. They're going to know the truth about everything, and there's not going to be no room for anybody to be lying, because there's going to be creating chaos, further chaos with lies. And so eventually I knew we were going to have to come back into truth, order, balance, and justice. Some people say that's the original universal system. That's the Ma'at, And so they with them harnessing that energy, they knew we were going to come back into that system. But a lot of people are trying to discern. Listen, Teresa, all of these people got your information, and they keep trying to take more and more from. Goodness. You don't need to say anything. You just need to go away, because you're not getting anything. So this other one, she comes in, and I'm grateful for the 144,000 that's working with me. We work together spiritually to combat these devils that are doing these things on the spiritual level. So she comes in to consume me, to try to take this information, to try to take gifts into the church. That's what they're pretty much doing. And the Illuminati initially was the ones that was trying to do this. So they had people working with everybody that was outside of the church. Everybody outside of the church that had their spiritual gifts, the Illuminati been working with them to prepare, because the ones that was in the church are the ones that had the gifts, and they would take your gifts. If you go in the church, they would take your gift. Or, that's what happened to her. That's what happened. Yeah. Okay. I'll touch that later. So, with with the whole spiritual gifts and the whole spiritual system that they created, they would harness that and they would give it to the people in the church. I didn't know that. I was blessed into the church and I was baptized in the church. I stayed with the church even when everyone graduated, left high school, went off to college. I stayed, and I didn't go to church as often because I felt left behind. I felt left behind because everybody else had went off to college and I was still at the church. And I went to a local college. My mama didn't want me to go off and she couldn't really afford that. So I stayed and went to a local college. And I stayed at home. I didn't go off to college. I was still at home. I think might have been one of the only ones that stayed at home and stayed local and didn't really do too much. I stayed content. And a lot of people went off. But and the ones that went off, I believe that everybody had a community. Something happened with my spirit, with my higher self and my gifts. Everybody, I think that when people graduated high school, they graduated in their highest self. And I didn't. Now, the next part of this video comes into play. It's going to talk about how they harness your higher self and create universes off of your higher self and spiritual communities off of your gifts. That's basically where I'm going to leave that at. Because that can be dangerous for somebody. It's not dangerous for you, Teresa. They know what to do and they fixing it. Because that's what they did to me. And like I said at the beginning of this video, that's what they do to the divine sacred feminines. The divine sacred feminine has balance in her of feminine and masculine. She has the power of 717. She has the power of a feminine as well as a masculine in her. She's balanced in her. And she can create, that's the mitochondrial DNA. That's how you see, that's how they're able to see you in person and know you have that mitochondrial DNA and you're able to create. There's certain things that the man can see on you. They're just going to know when they see you. And they take advantage of that a lot of times. A lot of times the men take your dark power and they pass it on, or they create a community off of it. A lot of times it does give you good. It can benefit you. For me, I say everything is working out for me so that it is not lessening me. However, it is the truth when I say there's devils on every level. When you're saying devil, these people work on one side of their brain. That's all they do. They haven't determined. If you're a melanated being, it is just that. I'm trying to get y'all to not do this to me, to cause me any imbalance in my body. That's what I'm trying to get. You all are the ones that are causing these problems to continue if you don't stop doing what you do. And it's going to have to be combated in the best way possible for me to have longevity and peace and good health. So I hear you. And so basically they're saying for me to not only address melanated people, and that's true because I don't see color, but I'm just going by history and by my bloodline when I'm speaking on it. I'm not against European people. I'm not against, I don't like to call them white because that's a color. And we're referring to a race of people. And so I say European, and melanated. That's how I say. And without any disrespect to them, apparently they have been working on one side of their brain because of that particular spiritual entity that they received initially when they were colonizing America. Only they know, right, the root of that entity and how to prevent things from happening the way it's been happening and how to combat this. And they haven't stopped it. That's why I'm referring to them like this too. And only speaking to melanated people because they know they need to work together with the African people or whoever that they initially got this system from. And it was West Africa, like you said. I gotta look back at my book because I don't know if it actually said West Africa. I think it said African chiefs. That's what it said. But I'll look back, and the book is downstairs. It's the Willie Lynch book. But she keeps coming in just disrespectfully channeling through me, and that's the thing about them. They in that energy, that dark energy, and they haven't done the healing and the work that they need to do to come into the new earth, and they still want gifts, but they have to activate them within themselves. 144, you have to do that within yourself. You have to do the work within you to activate your own light within you, because you pretty much are just going to have to not cut yourself off from source. They chose to cut themselves off from source energy. That's another thing that I watched another video. I think his name is Samuel, and he talked about it yesterday. And he said how they cut themselves off from source energy. You cut yourself off from source. So you cut yourself off from the solar energy because you only wanted the dark energy. You only wanted the moon. So you only got the moon. You got to go back to source. Yes. And it's so simple. That's just like if I'm in a house all day. If I'm in the house all day, I'm going to be in dark energy. So I get out in the sun to get my light back and balance myself. You balance yourself between your sun and your moon individually. That's all we got to do. And when we do that, we need the sun. Everybody needs their own internal sun. And we're going to need suns to the original source sun to exist where it was originally set. So that way, when we do that, we'll be able to use that solar power. Hopefully that gives us longevity upon the earth. But what y'all are not going to be able to do is sacrifice me to save this earth. That's what you're not going to be able to do. So I don't receive your sicknesses or disease or anything that you have sent throughout the night while I was asleep spiritually. I don't receive anything that you're going to try to send to me to distract me from what I'm doing so that you can try to have me in a state of fear or in a state of sickness or dis-ease. I am at ease. So I could never be dis-ease. I am healthy, so I could not ever be sick. I am balanced. I align myself as I need to. I see longevity for me. I see longevity for a lot of people in my family, a lot of us here on this earth. A lot of us know about this information. We know to align ourselves to source. So what I am doing right now is I know I need to align myself with more moon energy. So then we wake up at that time where it's still time with the moon, and I align with the moon. We're coming into a full moon, and it's a full moon. They say it's in Pisces. And I am a Pisces. I believe that something with the red heifer is that's the man-made system. What they were saying, they were sacrificing the red heifer, but they don't realize that what they were trying to do with the red heifer was a man-made system that wasn't supposed to happen at that time. Here we are in the fall, and it's a blood moon coming in Pisces at the time of year of completion. Is right by 999, and this moon is coming at 979, which is really September 7th, 2025. All the numbers align to 999. But this time, for this blood moon, guess what's 7? What's intersected? It's 7. Divine. It's heaven. So the blood moon, see, this is how my mind works. I correlate and put all this together. I think that we all are individually everything that we seek outside. If you're seeking something outside and you're seeking it outside, most likely if you meditate and sit still, you can receive it. It's intuitive. It's in you as well. So with that being said, with that moon, that blood moon coming on the 7th, to me, in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay, so we got we got completion, and we got divine intervention, and we got completion, and that's it. The divine has intercepted it, and that's it. It is complete. That karmic cycle is complete for me. I am not going back into old things, into the old mindset, into the old lifestyle, into old traditions, into old beliefs. That is for me. And I can walk full authority, balance in all my power, in all my wisdom, my knowledge, my integrity. And I take it full force to move forward. Sometimes if I pause, I'm listening to what they're saying, but I don't really need to listen, because when you're listening, your attention can go where your energy could go, where your attention is going. And so I don't want to listen to them, because I don't want them getting my energy, because I need to focus on what I was saying. So I apologize for sometimes just stopping, because I start listening to them if they're saying something to grasp my attention, and then it just takes it takes me out of the flow, a divine order of where I was receiving divine information. Mm. Something's not right with that water. Yeah, that water tastes funny. I taste that. I don't appreciate that. I can smell it. I can smell the arc. You all put archon entities in my water. I can smell it. And these things are, you all think you can see them, but they are invisible. You have to keep casting out that archon. There's frequency music as well, frequency sounds that you can listen to, and they run from it. I don't like it at all. Ugh. I don't like it. And I can remember something where I don't know if it was a dream, or was I meditating, and I got the image in my mind of entities coming out of the moon. See, that's where they cut themselves off from source at, because they work from the moon. They come through the moon. That's how come during the full moon you'll see a lot of things happening more. because that's when they bring their parasites, their archon entities. So it's like they spill out more at that time. And we're coming into another full moon. The best time to take a parasite cleanse is during the full moon, so you can be able to receive divine truth. But when you get that divine truth for yourself, just align and set your own intentions for yourself, so they don't try to send that archon entity to attach to your neck or your body to try to control you, to get you to do what they want you to do. So their plan that they orchestrated for me on the moon, for me moving forward, I cancel it. Their moon, whatever magic or whatever they've been doing, anything done to me, over me spiritually, without my authority, is canceled. I don't receive it because I know what's best for me. Now, everything is going to work out for me. I will say that too. So if there's anything that I cancel that is divine, aligned for me to receive, I'm going to still receive. But anything that is of negativity and unhealthy, or stagnation or oppression or suppression for myself, my sons, my finances, my home, financial security, my profession, anything that's called that is not for me, that is not what I want for me or for my family or for my sons, I cancel it under the moon and under the sun. And what I did to activate myself, I don't know, because I think that this was just naturally my what I was supposed to do. I think this is just naturally what I was supposed to do. I think this is what they chose you to do, and it just did not work the way they planned. They kept thinking that it was something above, and they kept going up. They kept going up thinking it was something above, looking for something in space. NASA. Y'all got to check that movie out, The Fourth Kind. I started talking about that at the beginning of this recording. I'm going to let this recording go because all of a sudden we at 52 minutes. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know it's been that long. But I just upload these videos to my channel and to my platform. Again, this is just my audio documentary on my spiritual warfare experience. And like I said, for a while, I've been saying it, and I speak to things. I like to speak positivity in existence for myself to set that intention. So I've been hopeful and just saying that it's coming to a completion. It's coming to an end. The spiritual warfare for me is coming to an end. I'm coming out of this. I recently watched a movie, and it was talking about, in the movie, the girl went through the spiritual warfare. And after she resolved the spiritual warfare, at that, she was working for herself during the spiritual warfare. So she was working with some other people to resolve spiritual encounters of spiritual warfare, and with the knowledge and resources and tools and gifts that she had in the movie. And I think it was called, I forgot the name of the movie, but if I think about it, I'll put it in the description. If I remember it, I'll put it in the description. But in the movie, she works with somebody else to combat they were fighting off demons in the movie, and she had a partner that worked with her, and then she came into an assignment that was with her family. Her family member needed help. Because of that family member assignment, it helped her resolve her own internal spiritual warfare. The family member needed help. So when she helped that family member resolve it, see, charity begins at home. That's why I say the Bible can work out for you, right? Because something was controlling their minds, I believe. They were being guided in some way by a spiritual system or a soul or in the heavenly realm. Something was guiding these people for them to create this. And then you just had people that translated over time. But when the movie, her going back, her accepting the assignment, and the guy was mad in the movie. He was like, this is going to cost us our money. I don't want to do this assignment. We don't need to do this assignment because we're gonna lose a lot of money because of this project. But she was adamant about helping her family member resolve whatever spiritual warfare they were experiencing in their home and their family. And this particular aunt that she was experiencing it with, she decided to look at it like, I'm not going to worry about the money. I'm going to help my family member. Something kept telling her to help her, so she helped her. And when she helped her resolve that, she helped herself elevate higher to a higher purpose and calling in her profession. And she knew then she was able to balance out her power. See, she already had tapped into that dark power. But now, when she lended that service and opened the door into charity in home, she opened up her sunlight for herself, and she balanced herself. So she was able to now use her light and her sun and moon. She balanced and centered herself, and she knew that she had the two. See, when we lend ourselves and give ourselves and extend ourselves, it has to be initially within our family, and charity begins at home. Home is where your heart is. Home is with people that are close to you, that you love. So when you do that and you extend that to your family members, you're opening up your divine gifts for them to activate. And so that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help our family. We're supposed to lend it to them. And sometimes, but you got to think about it this perspective now. They have to be open to, want to receive it. They got to come to you. You can't just be like, oh, you need this, so this is what I'm fixing to give you. You in too much dark power. You're overextending in your dark power. You got to be there, present and available. So when they come to you, you say to them, oh, this is what I can help you with. That's just, for instance, like yesterday, I had a girlfriend, and she recently lost a patient that she's been caring for 12 years. Me and her are childhood friends. And she lost a patient she's been caring for 12 years. And then her son, who is, she has a son that's autistic. He had a spell in school and hurt himself. And then she had to carry him to the hospital. She has been holding on. And she's been doing it. Well, I'm telling you, she slept in her car sometimes. Me and her, I helped her get back out of that situation. We help each other. We don't have to tell. We don't have to tell each other we love each other, but we do. And we help each other. We do that for each other. We work together. And we have another girlfriend that's in between me and her. And I haven't really talked to her as much. But she talks to her sometimes, but I haven't gotten to talk to her as much. But there's no love lost between me and her. And it's no hate, nothing. For me, I'm the type of person that even if we don't talk, even if we left off and it was uncomfortable at that time, and we haven't addressed it, I still don't have hate for you. I just know we got to talk and mediate. We got to talk and mediate so we can come back together, and speak our truth. And I think that's what's about. That's the balance about, but it's all individual. We have to choose it. When we choose it, it's like we don't resist. So when she called me, I didn't resist her. When she messaged me and told me her situation, I didn't resist her. I was texting her. And for some reason, while I was texting her, I just fell asleep. They'll rock you back to sleep because they'll try to use you for this and use you for that. When I'm telling you, the devil be busy. The devil be busy. The devil be busy because the devil be controlling. The devil doesn't know how to ground and be still and listen and then flow. The devil just tries to control. Y'all that have been working with that moon magic and using that moon so much, and you haven't balanced to sit still, to surrender to your natural flow, to natural order, to natural truth, to natural balance, you've been confirmed. You confirm bias. So you only work with one side of yourself. You've only been working with the moon. And then, like I said in the last video the other day, they keep trying to come to us that actually did the work within us, and thinking that you finna build a spiritual community off of my light gifts and my light energy. No, you will not. It says more light required on my phone. I don't know if you remember me saying that at the start of this video. But so apparently I feel like too right now for me, I possibly need more light. No, you good in your light, in your dark. We don't take nothing from you. And I'm grateful for all the angelics on the earth realm. I'm grateful for all the earth angels. So basically, y'all got to balance your own energy. You can't come from my energy, my light, or my dark. If you've been in the house too much, get out there in the sun and meditate and pray and balance that energy. Lift yourself up in prayer. Affirm for yourself anything that you feel like you need within you. Speak it into existence. When you balance, you activate the ability to co-create for yourself. For yourself. That's how you do. And it's co-create. Because you got to think about it, you're going to combine your dark and your light, and you're going to be able to create when you center yourself right in between the two. That's all I wanted to drop today. Y'all set your intention for the day to be great for yourself. And I send you all peace and joy.